Yeah, it's great. E has been somebody that I've been leaning on.
Season last year, how do you build on what you guys did
Yeah.
last season on offense?
I've always, I mean, obviously the goal is Super Bowl, you know. So for us, the work starts now, and it's been started since OTAs and us working together. And obviously, I think the off-season workouts, obviously we're on the field with each other and trying to figure out, you know, our identity as an offense. But it's more of getting to know each other as well. I mean, that's why we come up here to St. John Fisher to be around each other, you know, kind of get that college feel back of being in the dorms and being around each other, hanging out at lunch, all this type of stuff, with no distractions as well. So I think right now we're focusing on finding our identity, hanging out with each other, getting to know one another. I've always said the more you care for a person off the field and their family and them personally, the more it makes you want to work for them on the field. So
Every athlete always wants to get better. What were the things that you wanted to get better at in the off season as you came here to camp?
yeah, I would say first step, quickness. Always trying to improve on that. Speed, just withholding, you know, speed for a certain amount of time, and that quick burst, as well as separation, just finding new ways and new releases, and like I said, just new ways to get open against man coverage. So definitely that's something that I've worked on a lot this offseason, with just running, you know, trusting my speed and, you know, trusting myself to go out there, run away, separate, and make plays.
Where did you learn? I mean, there are times it seems like you should be on the ground, but your balance keeps you up to the end zone sometimes. Where did you learn that skill, where you just have that supreme balance after you catch the football?
I don't know if I've ever even really worked like a true balance drill. I played running back majority of my life, really up until my senior year of high school, or all of high school. I was kind of back and forth, running back, receiver, just kind of all over the place. And then even in college, those first couple years, there was a passion to be playing running back. So I think it's a running back trait, just to, you know, take in that contact and stay balanced. And I've been doing that my whole life, so it's just kind of transitioned pretty well over the past couple years. So.
Khalil, I missed the first couple questions. You get asked about Keon at all, and kind of his growth. How have you seen him kind of mature going into year two?
Yeah, he's definitely. I think he's taking that next big step for sure. You know, he's willing to learn, he's willing to grow, he's willing to come in here and work and grind, you know. So anytime he has any questions, he's not afraid to ask. And I think that's different for younger guys. Usually it's harder for them to, you know, speak what's on their mind and say what's on their chest, and he does, and that's good. You know, we want that, because we don't want you to be thinking anything and holding that in when everyone else has all this information for you to get better. So he's definitely not scared to say anything. He's for sure showing up every single day. I mean, today, a dude put on a show, you know. So he's definitely willing to take that next step, and he's doing anything he can to do that. So I'm proud of him.
Have you seen Elijah Moore and Josh Thomas sort of playing themselves into the right series? What do you think they've been most of the last season?
Yeah, they're great. I was saying earlier, E is probably the strongest person I know mentally, from a mental standpoint, his mental game, and he's helped me out a lot with that. You know, we'll chop it up usually for like 15, 20 minutes after practice, just to, you know, hey, what's on your mind? You know, what's going on? And then Palm as well is a bigger dude, physical dude. Always shows up ready. I mean, you got to tell him to slow down sometimes. He's just ready to go. So both those guys are ballers, and we're excited to have them. But they're even better dudes off the field as well. You could talk to them about anything. So that room is definitely gelling together.
Hello, with Elijah, you know, when you first started to get to know him and watch him in practice, did his route running almost maybe surprise you? It's something that he says he emphasized a lot in his game. Is that something that maybe jumped out to you as a strength of his?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't surprise me. I've always known he's been like that. You know, just his quickness and his first couple steps out of his routes, his explosiveness. Obviously, I've watched some of his tape beforehand, and it's an honor to play with him. You know, so that's definitely, when you see it in person, it's crazy just how quick he is in and out of his breaks. And the main thing I've learned from him is just he just doesn't think. You know, he just goes out there and reacts. And I think that's such an underrated trait to have when you're not thinking of 1,000 things. How do I release here? How do I do this? How do I do that? Just going out there and playing ball and knowing that you got what it takes, you know, and he's somebody that implements that every single day. So, yeah, I'm excited to play with him.
Keon, yeah, Friday, maybe a couple drops during practice. How do you, as a receiver, not let that day bleed into another practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because you want to be perfect, but nobody's perfect in this world. You know, we're professionals, but at the end of the day, we're people as well. We make mistakes. I mean, I've done it. Everybody else has done it. As a wide, I don't think there's not many wideouts who can say they haven't dropped the ball. Everyone does it. So it's a part of the game, to be honest. You know, it just short-term memory. It happens and move on to the next play. It's now easier said than done. But as long as you tell yourself, you know, for me, it's whenever that happens, it's how do you respond, you know, and that's what Keon showed today. And the other day is even though you come out and maybe it doesn't go the way you want it to, now how do I respond? And he's done a great job at responding.
How does the everybody eats mantra evolve?
Continue to grow with it. For me, it's not a one season thing or a one game thing or a one time thing. I think it's an every year thing, every game thing, every practice thing where for us, we're not out there as individuals. We're out there as a team. We're out there as all 11 guys on the field have to do their job in order for that specific play to work, you know. And I think when you say it, it's one thing, but when you really put it into action, it's a whole another thing. And it's beautiful to see unfold when you do it the right way, you know. So for us, that's right now, you know, receivers catching a block in the run game and not just doing it last year, but continuing to do it right now. You know, running backs in protection, doing that right now. It's everybody doing those little things when they're not getting the ball that makes somebody else spring open is what Everybody Eats is all about. So we're going to continue to do that.
And how do you integrate the new guys, the guys who weren't part of it last year but are aware of it now?
Yeah, I think by example. I mean, obviously Joe talks about it in our meetings, so they hear it. And then I think it's more of like once they see it, it's like, okay, cool, like this offense really is about that. You know what I'm saying? Every individual out there is about making sure that they do their job for the person to their right and the person to their left. So it's setting the example is also the main thing, and going out there and making sure that we're not just saying things, but we're doing it.
About setting the example, do you feel like as you continue to spend time with this team, this organization, your leadership role grows within that wide receiver room, and it's on you to sort of set that example, sort of the elder statesman out that wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, I guess over the course of the past couple years, I'm a pretty quiet guy, I would say, but I've tried to work on being a little more vocal and just letting guys know that they can lean on me whenever they need to and talk to me whenever they want to talk to me. You know, but one thing for me is, you know, if I'm not going to be vocal, I have to do setting the example, you know, to the highest level. You know, I have to show that, okay, like I was talking about receivers in this offense blocking the run game, you know, so going out there every single day and doing that. So for me, it's always leaning on, you know, being the example, but as well as letting guys know that they can come and chop it up whenever if they have any questions about the offense or whatever it is, and even off the field as well. I'm there for everyone.
You've been around Joe and Josh now. You know what's expected. You know the system. What's it like watching new guys show up and have to start kind of at ground zero?
Yeah, I mean, a guy like Joe, I mean, I have nothing but the most love for Joe, you know. I've always said my career took off once Joe took over, and he was somebody who just believes in me every single day, you know, and I truly love him for that. And Josh as well. Both of those guys, like, they set the example by just putting a smile on their face and showing up to work every single day and ready to go. So I think when new guys get here and they see that, you know, our OC and 17 come out here doing everything 100%, not slacking off, not, you know, BSing around and all this type of stuff, right? Like, you see that as a new guy and it's like, all right, these guys are doing that, now I need to fall in line, you know. So they set the most perfect example of how our offense is, but also as well as, you know, having fun. You know, it's, you know, we play ball, we play football, and, you know, on Sundays or whatever day it is during the week, but don't forget to have fun with it, and they let us know that as well.
What do you think Cliff would do with Joe?
I don't know. I just feel like, for me, it's always when a coach truly believes in you, they let you know. And I think once Joe took over, he was just like, "You ready to rock?" And I was just kind of like, I mean, yeah, let's get it, you know. And it was just since then, it was just kind of on the same page where I feel like I went from kind of blocking in the run game to next thing you know, it was like boom, just took off, and now I'm out there running routes and 80-yard touchdown. I think that was Joe's first game, and it's just like, and he's just like, all right, now let's keep it rolling, you know. So he's somebody that when he's going to talk to you, he's going to let you know how he feels about you. He's going to let you know that he cares about you, that he believes in you. And when a coach tells you that, plenty of times over and over and over again, as a player, you start to believe it and go out there and just excel.
Thank you.
Cool. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
he gives.
You guys had such a great year last year. How do you level up the play this season?
Last year, we led the leagues in least amount of sacks, a lot of other stuff. It just comes back just being ourselves. We all want to take that next step forward because we didn't finish off the year the right way, the way we wanted to. So I think we're really feeding off that and just continuing that next stride. Make sure the whole offense is just one unit, not just offensive line. Josh doing a great job being with us. I think we're just ready to take that next step forward.
Could you describe how the chemistry has grown between the five of you over the last couple of years?
Yeah, most of us have been playing together now 3 years. Dave coming in and Jumbo 2 years ago. So we've all just been around each other. We know how each other move, just how each other interact with each other. Like, the little calls, like, we know each other's thinking, so it just makes things a lot simpler. We're not stepping on each other's feet. We know how each other move. It's just a lot easier to communicate with each other, I would say.
Hey, Connor, how beneficial is the 4-day wrap-up to tomorrow when you put pads on?
Yeah, it's always good. Just helps alleviate some of like the soft tissue things. Like, I know the old days, you used to like run the conditioning test and then you're writing the full pads. So it's a little bit easier transition, get your body ready and ready to go.
Follow up when you have pads on tomorrow. Is that where you really evaluate inside run?
I would say so because right now you can't really like judge how you're running the ball just because both teams, like, we're mostly passing the ball right now. So tomorrow when the pads come on, you can actually judge how runs look.
How much of a transition is it from going from guard to center and having that continuity between Edwards and Torrance?
I would say it's been a pretty easy transition having two great guards next to me. Both guys do a great job of just communicating and listening what I'm saying, and they have great intel also. And I would say last year it took a little bit to get used to each other, but by the start of the season we felt very comfortable, and then this year it's a whole nother level of comfort.
Some of the things that Coach Cromer has been making a point of emphasis in these first 4 days of training camp?
I would say just a lot of it is just, one, just getting back with the guys, and two is just helping the young guys because you never know. Like, we've been blessed the past few years with injuries, luckily. Guys really haven't had to step up, but just making sure if their time's called, make sure the young guys are ready whenever they have to be called up.
What did you learn your last year in Dallas, entering a contract year, that you can apply to your situation now?
Yeah, and just go out and just live every day. Like, you don't know what tomorrow's guaranteed, so just live it up today, and just every day you're putting on film.
Would you like an extension before the season starts?
Obviously, that would make things easier, but I have 1 year left, and that's all that really matters, so I'll deal with that at the end of the year.
You mentioned the young guys.
Yeah.
He stepped right in, like right out of college. Is that almost amazing what he's been able to?
Yeah, like, we don't really see that much, especially on the offensive line. Usually it takes a year or two to guys develop. He did a great job coming right in, listening to what Mitch, Spence, me, Dion were saying, and he just was able to just grow and learn. He kind of sat back, just took all the knowledge in, and just let his play just develop. Like, he's just a natural freak out there. So he came in with the just natural football smarts, but then we've been able to elevate his just football IQ overall, and he's flourished into a great player.
Unfortunate that Spencer's been out, but how important is it for like Grable and Vandemark to get those reps?
I think it's huge. Like, you saw last year the first time in I don't know how many years one offensive line went out, and Vandy stepped right up. And I think that's just great right now to get Tylen used to that, Vandy again used to that, just getting in because the other four of us are so comfortable with each other, trying to get someone else on that level. Like, they're not used to Josh's cadence, stuff like that. So little stuff that you don't realize off the field that makes such a difference, like our snap count, how we communicate with each other, just getting them used to it helps a lot.
Connor, I know you had 1 year at center last year with Josh, but what are you and Josh working on right now during training camp?
Just continuing the success we had last year. Like, he's given me a lot more control, like with just in the run game, pass game, like a lot more comfortable just turn around talking to it. Like, he's not as hands-on. He can let me take a little bit more control, and I think that just the comfort with each other is just taking the next step.
Now, we know pads is, they come on officially tomorrow, but in the trenches so far, dealing with TJ Sanders and obviously Deion Walker, how's it been just dealing with, those guys?
I think they're going to be great players. They're learning a lot. The thing I really like about them is they're not afraid to ask questions. They'll come up to me all the time, or just what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. Their willingness to learn is great, and that's what I greatly appreciate about them. And I know they're going to be great in the future.
What is it about Josh that allows him to see control and do things like that? As to have control, to deal with
how you dealt with it last year.
Yeah.
And then the now. How does he get through with that?
Frankly, just put it, he's Josh Allen. That's really the thing. Like, he's just one of those natural born leaders, and he's just very comfortable in that role. And every year he grows off that. I think last year, with a lot of guys leaving, he really stood up, and that really tested his leadership, and he excelled at it, and he's just continuing to take that role now.
I'm kidding, but how is the MVP thing gone to his head?
You would not even know. Like, you wouldn't know. He just got married, everything else. You would know. It's just the same Josh out there.
Follow up on Walker. He's a big guy.
Yes,
Can
he is
you
very
compare him to anybody you faced in a game?
See, like, he reminds me a lot of like a few years ago, like when Jordan Phillips was in Arizona, like that big type of presence. What is he? 6'7", like 340 some. He's a big dude.
Pizza's in training camp, man.
When we get back to Orchard Park, the pizzas will be starting again. Yeah, I get the questions all the time from the guys when the first pizza party is. I just tell them, give me 3 days to prep everything, and we'll be good to go.
Make sure I'm invited.
We have a big party coming up soon.
Thanks,
Thanks, man. Thank you.